Hello, good afternoon. The subject of biological immortality with wellness is part of anti-aging. Probably everything we do and every health concern we have is to slow down the process of aging, stop the onset of disease. Before I begin, biological immortality is a way that we were looking to get certain biomarkers from saliva to give us indicators of possible upcoming disease or things that could happen that we might be able to change with the patient. So that will be included in this presentation. My training was originally in general surgery at Cornell New York Hospital. I went on to naturopathic medicine, herbology. I wanted to study oxygen therapies and peptide therapies, traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine. I went in these directions out of curiosity. I felt that a doctor's job is to be a teacher. And I wanted to learn more so they can understand more to give more gifts to my patients. I feel if they understand, and if you understand today more about what anti-aging might or might not be, then we might have a better understanding of where we're going with the concepts of wellness and anti-aging. So this lecture is really about the science of anti-aging and the practical application of it today, right now. In fact, I will whet your appetite. I have a list here of 105 supplements already proven by research that you can take to slow down aging that are proven. And then we'll go over that section by section. And this is for all of you to have as a gift. We will call these anti-aging firewalls. And that will become more familiar to you with time. This is what everybody's really concerned about. Everybody talks about immortality, but Woody Allen said, I don't want to achieve immortality through my work. I want to achieve it through not dying. And most patients are coming because they're saying, okay, I hear you talking about these concepts. You guys are very smart. You teach a lot of things, but what can I do now? If I'm going to pay for this, I need some proof of this. Biological immortality by a saliva test would do that. I believe that we will see that we need to create adaptive biological immortality saliva tests to see how the patient responds to a stress. And then we could see the response to a stress, take the saliva test, put them through all of our treatments, stem cells, oxygen therapies, peptide supplements, and then do the biological stress test again and show the patient, look, your markers changed. Then that would make anti-aging something people would want to pay for. Because most of the time when patients come to me for anti-aging, they say, I don't see it, I don't feel it, I don't know what you're doing. Why should I pay for that? People want something practical, direct, so they can feel like they're getting their money's worth. It is an investment. But before we get into it, we have to ask two crucial questions about anti-aging. What does the science know about aging at this time? In light of that knowledge, what exactly can be done now by ordinary people to retard, stop, or reverse aging? This is what I think everybody came for the wellness now, not when I get critical at the end. What can I do for prevention so that I can stay well? Well, the answers are not easy because we all know what aging is. It's a process through which we progressively become more vulnerable to disease, disabilities, grow old, and then we're eventually going to die. We want to do it gracefully. We don't want to experience pain. We don't want more chronic disease. But scientists disagree with not only about what causes aging, but what it actually is. I tried to find the middle road in saying, I think that aging might be an allergic reaction to living it up. What do I mean by that? Having too much of a good time. One time I met a 75-year-old woman, she told me, you live too good. You're not sleeping, you're drinking too much, you're going out chasing girls, you're dancing too much, maybe you're doing things to take care of yourself. Maybe too much living it up in a world where we're surrounded by those things all the time and have those stresses all the time are creating the age for us. I will get to some of those points. It's not easy to come to a conclusion because first there are causes of aging. There are many theories for the cause of aging. Each one has a plausible theory. There's research to prove each plausible theory. And the research is good evidence. Also, there are different perspectives, different theories, like everyone's looking at aging in a different way, like the fable of blind men going into a room with an elephant. One comes out and says, I think it's a bird because he grabbed the tail. Another one comes out and says, I think it's a wall. Another one hugs the leg and says it's a tree. But are we getting a full rounded picture of what aging really is? Because that's what we really have to do. There is slow progress, but it seems that with time, we're beginning through the thought to get a general central idea of what the core principles of aging are. And this is where biological immortality markers can become very important, because we need a central operating system by which to get a detailed understanding of what might be prompting us to age and what we could change. It's not easy because of the limits of working together to find common ground. We're all working separately, trying to find that theory. But I really believe if we start to work together, like with this conference and this wellness group that we're putting together, that because of working together, we will have a unifying equations. Instead of many minds focused on one goal, we should take away all of us focusing on different goals. Maybe we should all together be focusing on the goal of finding common ways of aging in the center. I think if we were to focus that way, we'd get faster results. We'd keep the pace with the nature of research coming out. In the last 8 years, there have been 1 million publications in longevity and aging. 1 million. And these numbers are growing rapidly because we're reaching a state on this planet where we're moving toward a singularity, where this information will be doubling in real time. Which is really good news. Because what that means is if we're gaining that much information in the next 5 years, we might be able to keep you alive 10 years longer with the information we gain. Only if we decide to keep pace with each other. We will get better research filters, so we'll know this makes sense, this does not make sense, your theory makes sense with my theory. We also can avoid market traps. Like the idea that telomere is the only marker for aging. That became a good marketing thing, we can sell that. But those market traps often lead scientists down a road that is being led by money instead of looking for the actual answer. So together we can get past those traps. More innovation. If we're working together, we come to conclusions very quickly. We take blood out of the body to put ozone in it. I know a doctor from Germany who said, why are you doing that? You can ozonate saline and hydrate the patient at the same time and give them ozone in their blood. And then you don't have to take the blood out, no clotting. That was an innovation, just because we spoke to each other. No risk to the patient. Proven effects. If we work together, we'll find out what research makes sense, because I tried it, you tried it. We have millions of patients together, but separately, maybe thousands. We'll eventually get enough data to find a longer life. We will heal each other like brothers and sisters and come together to make our community in general older and better. I think working in that direction makes more sense when information is evolving so quickly. If I'm speaking too fast, just let me know. Is it okay? It's okay? Okay. An evolving approach is possible if we thoroughly investigate the scientific theories of aging. Right now, there are 13 plus 1. The one being susceptibility to cancer, but there are 13. We're going to go through them very briefly so that everybody can see different perspectives on aging. We want to compare and find out how they relate to each other so we find the common things with each other. We want to analyze if an underlying assumption of one theory is correct, then what can be done now to slow or stop reverse aging? If we find out that's true, let's do something now. We want to construct combined answers to determine a core directive. I call it Occam's razor. Meaning instead of looking at two things and saying one is the other, where is the middle there? Maybe they have something in common again. It's very important in medicine. And improvise research, monitor the literature on a daily basis with an open mind, and continually finding updated material. But that's going to be daunting. 1 million pieces of research. In the areas of oxidative therapy and glycolation, there were 2,500 pieces of research published in 1 month, showing they cross between each other. How do we keep up? Can one person do that? I think there's an answer when we work together. If we want to really move toward this direction of anti-aging and find something, we have to kind of be like Prometheus, the man who decided that he wanted to steal fire from the gods. Because we're trying to look for godlike immortality. We're going to have to start thinking in different ways. I'm not saying that we should do things to disrupt that, but we need to be searching in a different way for answers. Meaning, we're going to find the fire and build the walls. Meaning, Like on a computer, if I know the virus is going to come, I have a firewall for that. What are the firewalls with each theory of anti-aging, and how do we build those walls so that I can age gracefully and not get a chronic condition? We'll be going through that. And the supplements are all in here for each firewall. Proven. Life basics, external things, the things that will accelerate aging. Are we eating the right food? How is the air? What is the water like? What is my work like? Is it stressful? What are my relations with my family? What are my relations with people that I love? And other things that come from the external. Then what about internal? I need sleep. I need exercise that helps me internally, my mind. What about sexual relations? My soul, my spirit. Things I should think about to slow down aging. What are the lifesavers now that are internal and external? Probably is going to come from remedies, treatments, techniques, technology. And then what choices am I making in my life path? One time I saw a child around 6 years old do something very bad. I don't really want to scold the child. I just went up to him and I said, when you do bad things, does the world get better or worse? And he said, not good. And he said, when you do good things, does it get better or worse? He said, better. I said, I think you know the answer. I think that choosing that life path makes aging easier. I'm not creating more stress for myself, more internal conflict. But we'll get into these things in a little more detail. There are 13 theories, and the first one that everybody knows was the most popular was oxidative damage, reduced oxygen species, possibly affecting my DNA that can cause a mutation, affecting a germ or a virus, or maybe a parasite to make it even more resistant. That this was one of the first things we thought of. We created antioxidants, things like green tea, curcumin, resveratrol, to kind of block this oxidating effect. We'll get into these things in more detail, and all are listed in there. But the thing about this oxidative stress theory is we thought these reduced oxygen species were all bad. Now we find that when a person is exposed to reduced oxygen, it actually can make them stronger. So that sometimes having that stress on your body makes your body adapt. That which does not kill me makes me stronger. So in Bangkok, where there's air that everybody doesn't like, I get on my bicycle and I drive back to Dr. Campoon's clinic all the way on Prom Prom through traffic. I think everybody sees me, but I'm working my muscles, increasing oxygen intensity in my blood, going through traffic, making myself stronger by actually saying, how can I adapt to this? How can I find a way to make it work? But I have to get a backpack and put a small oxygen tank on there and put it against the candle so that there's not going to have oxygen in traffic. It'll be light, I can do it. Why not? I should adapt. I think it's a good idea. Because I'm not going to wait for them to stop doing manufacturing at Rayon. They're just going to keep going and going and going. And it's at 2.5 parts per million, so I wear my mask. It's another thing. I wear my mask, take out all the air, and the oxygen is even lower because I have a mask, so my body will make more red blood cells. Got to adapt. Cellular DNA damage. This is one that Dr. Campoon likes to talk about all the time. Cell-free DNA. What is happening to these cells? That this DNA damage is happening. We know that this happens almost, this is another number, 1 million times even a day there would be DNA damage. I have a strong immune system that will pick up those damaged cells, so I have to keep that strong. We'll get to that. But that's another theory of why age might accelerate. And Dr. Campoon looks at biomarkers here from saliva that can actually pick up on that. Do I have DNA damage? Do I have a risk factor? Am I more likely to have arthritis or heart disease? That's something I want to know now. I actually started focusing on anti-aging 13 years ago because I'm 53. Because when you hit the big 4-0, all of a sudden you realize half my life is over. I want more life. So you start putting an effort there and you start realizing, wow, this is a huge subject. How am I going to get my head around it? I hope I'm not the only one thinking about it. I will get to that too, and I will give you information so you can keep up. Because it can be daunting. What are the other theories? Mitochondrial damage. This is very important. We're now believing in a concept called mitochondriopathy. That 40 diseases we know so far, from arthritis, heart disease, diabetes, have a mitochondrial problem in producing enough energy to keep up. And the mitochondria are very interesting because they have more DNA changes than the nucleus of your cell. Probably 28 times more. So there is a higher likelihood that there could be a mutation or a problem in making the right energy. So this is another theory, that if the engines of my cells run down, like I have a brand new Ferrari, it doesn't matter how pretty it is if the engine doesn't run right. It's aging, that car. I can keep shining it, do more plastic surgery on it, make it a different color, but it's still running down. So there's a mitochondrial theory. Inside every cell there's a little engine, and the engine makes the energy so your skin cells will renew, or your liver will do its job properly. So that's another theory. Another theory is tissue glycolation. With aging, tissue becomes increasingly damaged, dysfunctional because of the cross-linking between proteins and sugars. This is what we call silent inflammation, because we're seeing that this Brown effect will actually happen in the body because of sugars, melasma on the face, when skin cells, usually around this area, means the person needs to clean their digestion, because in Ayurvedic medicine and Chinese medicine, this is physiognomy. It tells you immediately there's a problem in the intestine. Certain outside areas, the lip goes down, holding fluid in my kidney. So I have to combine traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, Western medicine all together to achieve anti-aging. So far I went through that's a lot of theories. I thought there was only one, but there's a lot going on. And we have to find a way where they cross over each other. That Occam's razor. Like diffusing accumulation, that inside, you saw in that slide that was like blood, that there was a big crystalline structure in the blood, that there are granules forming in the blood because when the cells are operating, they create toxin overload inside the cell, which then is a toxin overload to the liver. And these granules continue to accumulate in the body, and they can slow down the function of cells, make cells start to stick together. Then there's a likelihood of infection that can happen as well. So this cross-linking of sugars actually slows down aging, because here we have a condition called diabetes. Let's say a person gets the onset of type 2 diabetes by age 40. They will live 14 to 15 years less because of that high sugar level. So here we have a direct connection to controlling sugar, stopping that oxidizing effect, that glycation effect, can help a person to live longer. Chronic inflammation. We point this out all the time. Most diseases are inflammatory if we really think about it. Carditis, diabetes mellitus, arthritis. In fact, the traditional Chinese medical doctor, my doctor sitting in the back, will tell these patients, you have a heat-causing condition in your blood. You're on fire. You're inflamed, inflammation in your blood. Now it's in your pancreas. And now because it's in your pancreas, we're not going to make insulin right, we're not going to take care of the sugar. We need to get your inflammation down. So traditional Chinese medical doctors have known that for 2,800 years and applying a different way of looking at solving that puzzle. Inflammation can also be solved in the way that we're having allergic reactions in our blood all the time. Little kids at 3 years old being allergic to corn or wheat or gluten allergies in the gut, that we're starting to have inflammation to the food that we eat. So we're starting an inflammatory process which runs things down, heats up an organ, causes deterioration, moving us toward a chronic disease. Immune system compromise. This is wear and tear over time. We get older, we're fighting viruses, bacteria, we have parasites in our body. In fact, this is a known fact. The human being is 99% bacteria and 1% human cells. Bacteria in our digestive tract, bacteria we're breathing into our lungs, bacteria all over our skin. And there's this fine balance between those bacteria, parasites, viruses, and our 1% human cells that keep this balance. So then inflammation hit me immediately. This immune system is really important. I need this immune system to protect the new cells I'm generating in my body. Stem cells, regeneration, fertility, the ability to make another me. That between the regenerating cells, I'm making new cells, I need to protect them, or else the new cells don't stay well. But if that immune system overrides the generating cells, I get an autoimmune disease. Let's say I'm making too many cells and they're generating too fast. Now I form a tumor. So the immune system has to go and check that. So there is a balance, like a seesaw, between this regeneration and this immune system. And what is it in between that's communicating between these two to keep this balance. Biomarkers will tell us that. Hormones will tell us that. Paracrine effects from cells, exocrine effects from glands in the body. But these are the things that we really pay close attention to when we're looking at how the body is functioning. Too fast? Should I slow down? Everybody's okay? There are a lot of theories of anti-aging, and we have to somehow come to a middle point, because one guy says this over here, your genetic code over here, that one, epigenetics, this one. Oh, what is all of this? There has to be something in the center. Neurologic degeneration. I need my brain to be operating well so that I can get feedback from my organs and live long. And neural cells in the neurologic system, cells in the central nervous system, peripheral nervous system have a limit of regeneration, telomere shorten, they can't replicate anymore. So we lose neurogenesis, the ability to keep making new nerves, and we run down with aging, another primary theory of aging. This is the one we all know very well, declining hormones. Two of the hormones that we look at, most importantly, human growth hormone, DHEA, we will look at them at every age, but as early as the age of 30, we should be looking to see what is HGH like, what is DHEA like in a patient. Then when we hit 40, we're going to look at male and female hormones. Because think about it, when we get prostate cancer or breast cancer, not when the hormones are normal, but when they're dropping in that age range, 40 to 50. So hormones are very important in regulating immunity, so we can take care of cancer and decrease our susceptibility. Then we reach 50 to 60, but these are always overlooked. We should be checking erythropoietin, calcitonin. Could be one of the reasons why we begin to have parathyroid issues, and then calcium issues, and then osteoporosis. Then we reach 60 to 70, we should be looking at serotonin, GABA. What is the brain doing? How is my insulin production going? All things that can be looked at in a way hormonally that should be looked at year by year to keep pace with aging and anti-aging in the patient. So we have protocols for this, in which we check the patient, do an intake form, he's this age, we much through this. Vulnerability to cardiovascular disease. We all know that heart disease is one of the #1 conditions on the planet for about 3 more years, and then it will be outstripped by cancer, because cancer is becoming much more popular now. But heart disease and knowing how the heart is functioning is telling us something about life. A few cells start beating, you have life in the body, and your heart keeps pumping every single minute of your life all the way till death. So that heart is very important. From pumping nutrients to everything in the body, one pump from my heart, my entire body is my brain, all the way to my toes. So the river of life, my circulatory system, is constantly bringing nutrients to every cell in the body and taking away the waste. So focusing on heart disease is a very important factor in looking at how a person's aging. That heart rate variability, very well done, taking pulse of the patient. How much are they actually staying in scale and varying? In fact, the cell phone in your pocket changes their heart rate variability by 5 to 8 beats per minute, depending upon when it rings. I like to say that when they put smart on something, I don't want it because I just want to remain dumbed up instead of smartened down. I don't trust the advertising, smart washing machine, smart TV, smart phone, smart. I'm like, I want these things smarter than me. They shouldn't be, we made them. Maybe they will all be communicating with each other someday, and I don't know what we put in them, but I will get to that too, because that's exactly what they're going to do. It's called 5G. It's coming in fast. But anyway, I'll get there. Next one, telomere shortening. This one became the queen of anti-aging theories. Interestingly enough, it was 2 female scientists who developed the telomere theory and found telomerase, and found that there's a little thing at the end of your shoelace. If I go to the little plastic part, that's the telomere. And it keeps the DNA from unwinding, so the cell doesn't get DNA damage and mutation that will then form to cancer. So that telomere becomes a very important marker for us to look at and say, this could be an important indicator of aging. But wait, new research has shown that you can make your telomeres a little bit longer and tighter. Other research has shown that some people's telomeres wear down faster than others. So it's not the most perfect way to look at It's one way among many. But again, the marketing took telomere, everybody wanted to make something for telomeres. Can I find a supplement? Can I find a drug? And then it took off, and then we thought it was the premier theory. But there is a king theory. And there is a queen here who understands where that king theory is. But we'll get to stem cells. Programmed epigenetic changes that around our DNA will carry the influence of the memory of our entire life, of everything we're exposed to, every stress, every single infection, every single thing that happened to us, and that our DNA is carrying that memory through our life on the epigenetics above the DNA and around it to make that DNA more stable so I can be better in a stressful environment. And then there's genomic theory, which says that my entire genetic line from my family all the way back to the first person carrying over that information which was passed to me genomically and also probably by breastfeeding from my mother, because that's where I get my immune system. And that by putting that bacteria in my gut, we now know through the work of Dr. Ruggiero and Dr. Luc Montagnier, that the bacteria in the gut by gene transference is sending signals to our genes, and it's actually causing our genes to change electrically. By electrical signals, energy signals. In fact, if you take human DNA and you put it into normal saline, and then you take it out, break it up, put it back in the normal saline, broken, it starts to form the same structure again inside the water. Very interesting that the water in my body has a signal that will reform my DNA. That's the work of Dr. Luc Montagnier just before he discovered HIV, AIDS. Declining adult stem cell differentiation, very important in this pathway that cells go from pluripotent, multipotent, progenitor cells, somatic cells, to senescence. And once this chain of replicating and replacing cells so that it can go off and restructure our organs, pluripotent, can build almost the whole organ in the body. Then multipotent, focusing in a certain groups of areas. Then a progenitor cell, it's starting to define itself as a certain structure. Then becoming somatic, now it becomes an actual tissue. But as it goes down to tissue, now it can't replicate so well, telomeres run down, and then the cells fall out of step, and you go into a state of senescence where we're now starting to age. But as soon as we start breaking down stem cell chain, we start now deteriorating fast. And the major killing theory that everybody's looking at for aging is stem cells and keeping this chain alive best we can. So at this National Science Park, we focus on cells, cell therapies, looking at improving them all the time, because it's one of the key theories. Slowing the rate of organ regeneration because of declining differentiation. Even now we find that even if we would replicate stem cells in the body, when they get to the niche where they're supposed to go, that those other cells in that area now having an effect on that, which puts a continual hurdle in front of induced pluripotent stem cells, which are not producing the results that everybody believes they can. But we can get pluripotent cells, blood, amnion fluid. So, I went through all the theories of aging, and we wanted to look at these theories, about these theories. They're not independent. I said this before. There's overlap. The oxidative theory and the glycosylation theory are linked around INCA4A, which is a biological marker. And that this oxidation and glycylation are responsible for accelerating heart disease and cancers. So they both are cross-lapping over each other. You can't think of them as separate. Every week new research reveals this cross-lap at 2,500 pieces of research a week. From this viewpoint of wanting to slow or stop aging, we're going to have to look at where we meet. Kind of like weaving a basket. What are the center points of these weavings? About these theories again, new theories based on genetics, proteomics, microbiology, molecular biology, stem cells, and epigenetics are giving more powerful ways of looking at aging. And I want you to remember those things because this is where we're coming to the center of how they can all be linked to each other through here. Now we'll get more detail. If we start focusing in this area, get more specific about these biological markers, then we're capable, instead of knowing that there was a woman who just died at 132, that we might be able to push out as far as 150, 300. And as this information is collected more and more, in the next 10 years, there will be breakthroughs that will allow someone who's maybe 70 to say, wow, I could possibly apply these things and live to 90. And then by the time he gets to 90, the research is coming so rapidly that he might be able to live to 120. Because we're doubling the amount of information, approaching a singularity. 2026 is when we hit the singularity, in which all information on the planet, all research, all artwork, all new things that are made in media will be doubling in real time. How do you keep up? I'll get to how we keep up, I'm getting there. There are new theories that have come out that are kind of showing their centralized ideas that are four new ones that we're looking at other than the 13. It's the idea that could there be aging because proteins don't fold right when we're making them through the cells. There are parts of the cells that can be interrupted even by a cell phone in your pocket. The accumulation of protegrin, we're finding, you've heard of this condition called progeria, in which children age very rapidly. There are now markers inside cells called protegrin, which are telling us, oh, this is showing this cell has started aging faster than others. Gene mutations leading to helicase abnormalities, where the RNA that folds up around DNA is not folding properly or connecting properly, and the electromagnetism of how they touch each other is not proper, not allowing DNA to be read properly. Aberrant mTOR. We found certain animals on the planet, a slug-like creature called a nematode, that when it seems like it lived forever. And there's something between mTOR signaling. So we found that there are cells in the body that will raise mTOR signaling to tell us, oh, this is not good. So we're again looking at, these are biological ways of looking at biological markers at a deeper level that gives us a more centralized understanding. I hope I'm not going too fast. I'm not going to go through that on every single theory, talking about every single biological marker, because these names, Inca and NK-AP and NCAP-B, they might not mean much to you. I'm sure the only person in the room who really knows is her, the microbiologist, because she knows way more than me on these things. In the last 5 years, there have been identified 4 more candidates, which means that now we're out to approximately 17 theories. So we have to start thinking in the middle. Constructing the science. If we have all these theories, we should focus on healthy people of any age and be concerned mainly with the here and now practical approaches. We should ask questions for each theory. If the underlying assumptions of each theory are correct, then what can be done right now to solve? If these 2 theories are correct, then we can see oxidation, glycolation. Can we find Chinese herbs that might work in both areas? Define anti-aging firewalls. Supplements is a good way, cheap, accessible to everyone. We'll hand that out in a second. And combine the firewalls to determine what can be done now. All actions and supplements and anti-aging firewalls are based on kinds of research. I will show the levels of research. Most are supported by several kinds of research. We should have them supported by something. We shouldn't make an assumption just because we find something that this is good for anti-aging. I'll bring one of those up. An MAO inhibitor that became very popular. It was kind of like a legal way to snort cocaine. But I'll bring it up. It's something we should look at. We should look at other things that impact this aging. I said sleep, exercise. I will talk about this a little bit more. And new research results are constantly coming to help us. I think of research as a good thing. I don't think of it as a place to shelve things. I think more information is important because information is more powerful than money. Why does Google keep going up? What are they selling you? A way to get more information. But I would go to startpage.com where nobody can track my information when I'm searching, and it works just as good as Google. Made by a woman from Harvard who wanted a private search engine. Startpage.com. You might try that. Oxidative damage theory. Again, we know that free radicals from X-ray radiation, microwave radiation, remember that one, we're getting to that smartphone, UV exposure, ingesting heavy metals, eating rancid food, eating blueberries and chocolate, they help with fighting against that. So again, supplement firewalls would be antioxidants from these to make sure that these free radicals are not doing damage. For the glycosylation theory, again, we're forming linkages with sugar. We want low glycemic index foods. We don't want to eat brown or burned foods all the time, frying foods. If it's brown, it's going to make brown on your skin. The more brown you eat, the more glycolation you're going to get, the more your skin is going to be disrupted. So again, moving toward whole food, steamed food, kind of like an Okinawan Indian, the longest living people on the planet. We're doing that already, where they're actually having those good patterns that will help with that. Certain supplements like carnosine, benfotiamine can help with that, but you have those lists in your files, which I'm going to give you. For the program, I can't go through every theory, I'm just giving you a general idea. For the epigenomic things, we can look and see there's a common rule for NF-kappa B in epigenomics. That when you look at NF-kappa B, stress, disease, inflammatory processes raise these markers. We're looking for supplements that will block that. There are 36 in the packet which actually block that. These are all research, by the way, and I'll give you the website to check them and to look for the research yourself. And I will get to the doctor who's behind all of that. For immune system compromise, again, stressful situations, myocardial exercise helps. A half hour each day. Avoid situations that lead me to be exposed to multiple bacteria all the time. I was in the train this morning, I heard one kid coughing over there, I heard another person coughing over there. I was in a petri dish on the BTS. There were kids coughing. I put my head down, and I thought I should have brought my mask. But that's it, I was there. So I decided to do some on heat, focus my attention centrally, drop my vibration, so it would not be in that vibration, which I learned from one of my teachers. His name was the Buddha. That making sure that I'm getting certain phytochemicals, hormone imbalances help with my immune system to protect against infectious disease. Telomere shortening, again, minimize the stress, minimize diseases, injuries, change lifestyle patterns. We found that certain antioxidants like astragaloside, get an IV, which is astragalus root, cycloastragenol, found within that helps increase telomerase to prepare the telomeres. Also listed in there. Yeah, there's a large body of research. These are the kinds of research that are used to find out whether or not these supplements are working, that there are different ways that we can look at it. One is macroscopic studies, large population. Why are Okinawan Indians living so long? I mean, Fukushima is only 200 kilometers away. What are their lifestyle patterns? That's called the Okinawa study done by Harvard. You could look it up on the internet, find out exactly what they do, live just like them. Maybe I want the epigenomic changes that make me strong like a Viking. Why are Vikings so strong, vital, could be the first ones to go all the way across the ocean, find America, and go, now we don't mind the river going back, even before Columbus. Could it be that when you're cold all the time, one thing that happens, you have more brown fat. Your mitochondria and your fat goes up higher than anybody else, so you're stronger, bigger, faster, recover faster. Sherpa, people who climb Mount Everest. It wasn't the guys or whatever from England who got the award and went first. The Sherpa took them up and said, this is where we go, follow me, and then he got the award. But the truth is the Sherpas are one of the most deadly hunters and strongest people if you face them in those mountains. Could be something about the environment around me, how I live, that makes me stronger. I come from Sicilian and Egyptian roots. We're extremely fiery people. It's also where you find gladiators, because the Moors came into Sicily and made sure they had sex with everyone. So my genes are Italian and Arabic. Controlled clinical trials that are very short, expensive, specialized ones. We use these. We have to get controls on them. It's a little bit more expensive, but gives good information. Studies that are done outside of the petri dish, in the body. Thousands of studies are done. We go over those to look for anti-aging. Large population cohort studies for 10 to 30 years. In Germany, they did one study looking at groups of people at the age of 60 who have been immunized and groups of families that have not been immunized. And we found that immunized families were 4 to 6 times more likely to have a chronic disease. Maybe by immunizing kids when these vaccines are over and over, they're actually short-changing immunity, so that the immunity becomes more focused instead of being more variant, so we're more likely to get disease over time. Unlike vaccines, I believe they're in the hands of the wrong people. Animal experimentation, mice, rats, 2 and 3 year studies, a little bit more affordable, gives us information. Synthesis and review, doing a meta-analysis of all studies available across the subject line, can sometimes tell us this supplement looks really good, this treatment looks really good. Dr. Dr. Vincent Guglielmo, PhD, who started putting all of this stuff together at the age of 76, that was 10 years ago. So he's 82 now, he was 72. He says now he believes on the things that he's been doing, and what he did was he realized, I can't necessarily keep up with all this, so he created a blog on the internet called anti-agingfirewalls.com. And on there he has now over 10,000 doctors participating regularly who are all into anti-aging from around the world, who are cross-referencing data with him. So now he can move faster, get more research, filter things out, find what's working, what's not working. That's the way to do it, work together. So he started to pull this data and realized I need help. He updated the blog every day in 134 major areas. He had many readers in the beginning. Now the readers are up near 40,000, 50,000 on a regular basis going through the blogs every day. He considers it a full-time job. He says I spend 60 hours a week doing this blog and managing it. So he's using his brain, focusing, looking at the instrument. Each theory is different, so there are great overlaps. He was able to find the overlaps, look at the regimens, look at the overall dietary supplements and regimes that were working best. Because there is many overlaps, he can look more deeply at the research and start to put together conventional wisdom saying, there are some old ideas that come from traditional Chinese medicine that are great. If I want to increase circulation in my body, I can go to onsen spa, jump in cold to hot, cold to hot, cold to hot, open up my circulation. If I'm having poor blood flow in my legs, that's ancient wisdom. It works. It should be cross-referenced and used. That most but not all supplements in the anti-aging formulas are well known, but taken by the millions looking at safety records on supplements like, we've been using vitamin C for a long time. We don't necessarily need more research on that to know what it actually does. That some traditional Indian and Chinese herbs have now been looked and have been found that they're actually meeting all of the research criteria of Western science, and they're great for anti-aging too. Some other things were gained from molecular and cell biology that can be used to help cells. It is clear now that with this information, that radical life extension beyond the age of 100 is going to happen. That I would say the next generation of children who are going to be into this, we will be approximately 8 years capable of growing organs from stem cells. It's already been done in dogs. MIT, Harvard, in China they're doing it regularly, growing organs inside of cows now. You can replace these organs. Certain substances act powerfully towards end, but what can they do actually for human life that we don't know yet? We will know over time as we accumulate this data. We're learning right now that there are certain things that help us with this idea of cellular aging, lipoic acid, carnitine, good with mitochondrial longevity. Resveratrol has been very, very helpful in the idea of these two markers, SIRT1, FOXO3, in longevity and genetic pathway stabilization. All in your packet, the supplements, which I will be giving out. So we can give, and we're probably going to get it, we need IV astragaloside, because this really stabilizes telomeres very well. There is, of course, a astragalus route, but we can put it intravenously. Then we have an anti-aging drip. Use of green tea, curcumin, phytosubstances that we know reduce inflammation, help with glycolation, help with oxidation. Research reveals more and more cross-links among theories. New theories are cropping up in the process. So we're getting now, as these theories move forward, that we can see that we can set up these firewalls now, live longer, and be prepared for the new information coming. These are the areas and the reason why I focus on biological immortality markers, where it is believed by all the scientists who are involved in anti-aging on a daily basis that these 4 areas are the areas of major focus. That in the area of molecular biology, overlaps with biology, chemistry, genetics, and biochemistry, genetics and genomics, to look again at markers of genes, susceptibilities, epigenetics and epigenomics, very important, our entire line, the effects to our lives, proteomics, protein structures, functionality, folding. But this is the one that everybody considers the major one that is getting the greatest focus for anti-aging, because we're producing results immediately when we give a person stem cells. We can see blood sugar come under control. US FDA, Australian FDA, There was a study done showing the blood sugar drop by half just by taking stem cells from fat. Within 6 weeks, the blood sugar dropped. For 2 years, hemoglobin A1C had stabilized. 38 patients. There were 42. The other patients were type 1 diabetics, but it was all type 2. So we're extremely close in those areas for longevity breakthroughs. We'd spoken about this idea of biofeedback and how a person is affected. The skin, I think, as a sensor, a signal transduction sensor. I think of myself as a giant cell with a lot of cells inside of me. And instead of thinking in terms of genetics, I think that most of it is happening because of signals. Signals from the outside world affecting my cells being affected, and then that effect being communicated directly to my DNA, and then my DNA makes a change. So if I change my outside world, or give myself new things, new supplements, new things, I can begin to see that my signals will change. That it's more about signals that will change and give them supplementation, give them new treatments and remedies that can change and strengthen my DNA. This is what actually systems biology developed at MIT and Harvard. We're saying now that this is more important than genetics. And the way that we've been making diagnoses in the past is going to have to change because we can't really reach into the cellular level here. These are the anti-aging markers we use now. But they're very general. They don't need to sit and tell us something specifically about him compared to him. In order to get to those more detailed levels, we're going to need those saliva bioimmortality markers. We're going to have to go down to that level because that gets very specific. Of course, we're seeing that high blood sugar is one of the top, it's the top one. DHEA, hormones, cortisol. I'm under extreme stress. My detoxification pathways might not be working. My immune system is affected. I'm not seeing blood cycles are affected. I'm not regrowing cells. I'm not making more blood vessels. We measure these things when we do blood tests with patients to determine how bad is the chronic condition. But we need to be more specific in terms of aging. So in terms of aging, I write that Dr. Campbell is like Yoda. Sometimes he speaks to me, and I listen to him, and I'm like, you will get not what I say when I say what I say, but you will get, you will know, you will grow. See that, not this will way it will be. And I look at him and go, I'm writing all this down because later I have to decipher it. And I do, I have books where everything Dr. Campbell says. I have a little book with all the stuff that he said, because I go home and go, that's what he meant. That's what he meant. He's really saying something when you listen. You just have to wait. He saw this way before anybody else. A simple saliva test under adaptive stress before and after biomarkers could predict disease. Because we need to be looking in these areas. Because this is what he said the focus would be. Could it be growth factors, proteins in the blood, heat shock protein? We put a person in extreme heat, the body needs a protein to protect all the organs. We have a supplement that you can buy. Already from Dr. Campbell that will help you protect all the organs when you're under extreme stress. Bioregulation in the gut, replacing the bacteria. So if this one can have an immune system because 85% of the immune system comes from your digestive system. And the traditional Chinese medical doctor in the back is nodding because he knows as well as I do all disease begins here. So this is what a traditional Chinese medical doctor will focus on. He'll say, what did you eat today? How are your bowel movements going? Let me check your pulse and look at your tongue. Because he's getting to the center of the problem immediately. Stem cells, evolving genomics, cell apoptosis, cell-free DNA, cellular drugs and supplements that work in this area, another focus of ours. When we look at genes, we have CRISPR now, the connected gene ERG, which tells us, oh, genes are changing. Can we turn on the switch to slow down aging? Telomere reversal with sirtuins, hormone regulators, growth hormone peptides, insulin growth factor 1, used in the right way, can stimulate growth in the body. Sarcopenia switches to stop fat from accumulating muscle we have already. It's a myostatin blocker called Myopep. I use it on my patients instead of steroids, makes them lose weight. Increases the metabolism in their muscle by 6 times faster, so they start losing their fat overnight. In 6 weeks, I get them to a six-pack. By utilizing those switches, quercetin, oleics, omegas, controlling hemoglobin A1C, sugar, polyphenols. We already have quercetin IV. Metformin for the brain. The Xanatab, also another one, good at controlling sugar. We also want mind boosters, things that protect the brain, neurogenesis, NeuroGuard, NADH liquid, which we have in the country. country too, which actually will pick up the mitochondria in the brain. In patients with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, we give it IV. I have a certain way to get stem cells directly into the brain without putting them in the spine. We go right through the needles, open up the cribriform plate, right into the Alzheimer's patient, no needles. It works. I tried it on the former Prime Minister of Bangladesh. GCNF helps replicate, nebulizing, replicated in order to help the nebulizer by steam, goes into the brain, causes nerves to regenerate. Glutamate starts to grow. Neurotropics, paracetam, certain combinations of herbs will help the synapses in your brain fire faster. If you want a great one, you can buy it on the internet called Brain Force Plus. I will guarantee you when you take that, your focus will be amazing, by 30% increase. This is what all the guys in Silicon Valley are doing. They're taking their training so their brain will focus, so they're on computers making programs, algorithms all day. But we can do all this now. This is what we want now. To prevent and prove to the patient treatments are working to slow aging. Dr. Campbell is a hero in this country. Everybody will eventually get it. Maybe there'll be statues, I don't know, but he's the one who keeps going out there and saying, no, we're going to do integrated wellness. This is the direction. We need to combine therapies. Dr. Campbell sent me this article, 19 pages. He said, I want you to read it. I read through it. It points to the idea that biological markers will be very important. But what I also got from this article was that we will get a much better biological marker if we stress the patient. Because what I'm looking at is how the patient adapts. Because I don't think of things in terms of natural selection and genetic code changes. I think that humans dominate this planet because we adapt. I certainly can't, my cat can jump to the ceiling and scratch my eyes out, but for some reason she waits for me to feed her. So it's because I can adapt to any environment. So when I look at the biological markers, I want to institute this idea. Before we take the saliva, we should take it, tell them we're taking the saliva now, and then we should go 24 hours fasting, maybe on water or green juices, and then take the markers again, and see how they adapt to when we're starving. We could heat them up in a room or make it very, very cold. We really want to put people, not all the elite want to get a cold room with snow, because it starts changing my fat. It's called the Browning effect. Makes them feel younger, because we're stressing the body's adapting. So I like the idea of adaptive biological immortality. This way we can show the patient after the treatments, look how well you adapt, all your markers came under control faster. Then we have a realizable way of selling something. So I wanted this idea of biological immortality, so I thought, well, if I can put the patient inside the womb like a baby, or make it look that way, then I'm going to be able to make them younger faster. So I thought of the idea of getting plasma from umbilical cord blood, because we collect umbilical cords for stem cells, using an umbilical cord stem cell, get that to the patient, drink the plasma, and then inject them with human placenta. Because this child will be exposed to human placenta, we'll be getting plasma with tons of growth factors in it because the baby's growing. And immediately when this baby comes out, it's going to be growing till it's 18. So this time, right now, this plasma at this age might be the best. In fact, there's a company called Andrea, right now that owns PayPal, where they're paying $18,000 for one drip. But we do it in this country much more effectively than that. And ours is better, because we're Dr. Campbell. And it's simple. So we can reproduce this idea. Of course, it's in Chinese, because I showed it when I was teaching doctors in China. That we can actually turn the patient into being in the womb. I call it womb healing. There are other ways to achieve biological immortality: reverse senescence, slow apoptosis, and reverse the senescence. In 2016, Yoshinori Bushisumi won the Nobel Prize for showing that when a person goes through fasting in approximately 72 hours, being in water, maybe a little bit of green, the stem cells in the blood almost tripled, naturally. Which brings me back to this guy walking around, saying, okay, let's see if someone gives me food today, I'll drink a little bit of water, and somehow when I watch, I see them sitting on the BTS, and I compare them, and I go, that guy looks like he's probably younger on the inside, and he's doing something, could be fasting, could be meditating, but we'll see if we can prove that too. We want to alkalize the blood so we'll hold oxygen, wheat glass, chlorophyll, chlorella. You could do a water fast and grain fast. I just did one last week for 4 weeks. It was amazing. Incredible. Detox the body. The full body, detox the body of heavy metals, detox the body of organisms that shouldn't be in the body, and then do an individual detox of the gallbladder, an individual detox of the liver, an individual detox of the colon, an individual detox of the kidney, using Ayurvedic principles at the core base of it. So Ayurveda is the longest practicing form of medicine on the planet still being practiced. Maybe we should put that to use. Diet correction, do colon therapy, clean the gut, get a fecal implant from a child with that bacteria in, or we have a yogurt from Dr. Marco Leggero, nominated for a Nobel Prize, helped make GCMF, 15 years at the National Cancer Institute, in which he did 600 clinical trials and found the bacteria in mother's breast milk. And now you can make, with milk that you boil at home, mix this together, and you have yogurt that mimics breastfeeding from your mom to renew your immune system. We use it in cancer patients all the time. Hormones, human growth hormone, growth hormone releasing factors, using SARMs to push the glands so they make hormones, collecting the person's hormones. This is the one that I said in the past was not cocaine, it was procaine. They were putting the lungs of patients and it would go into the brain, and it was an amino inhibitor. It was showing that people felt younger. Of course, it had to be stopped because the government doesn't want people using a form of cocaine. But the truth of the matter is that if we look at more amino inhibitors, this could slow down oxidation, increase health in the body. So I'm going to put it up there as a thought. I will try to get it done. I think placenta, a super supplement. I believe placenta is a superhuman supplement because the child's placenta in the mother was acting as every organ. So I like to give it to almost every patient when they have cell therapies. It's kind of triggering these old ideas of healing the body like it was growing like a baby. Immune boosting, natural killer cells, ozone, WD10. We're taking patients with almost no T helper cells, get a WD10. WD10, 6-hour drinks, 3 times, natural killer cells start to come back up. We can use natural killer cells to target specific cancers like adenocarcinoma. We were working on a patient with that the other day. Stem cells, very small embryonic-like stem cells. I keep pointing to this over and over again. Pluripotent. I want brown fat. I want to make a brown fat stem cell. I believe if I get a brown fat stem cell, drink that into the blood with that much mitochondria, we can start reversing type 2 diabetes very quickly. Will anybody get me brown fat? Okay. Amnion fluid stem cells, another pluripotent cell. This baby is sitting here gestating for 9 months, breathing the fluid around it and swallowing it and growing organs. Inside that fluid is a stem cell. That stem cell is proven for 10 years now, regrow tubules in the kidney. Published, University of California, Los Angeles, Child Development Center. Umbilical plasma, I already said that, fresh young plasma, getting nutrients. Oxygen therapies, hyperbaric. A new therapy where oxygen and hydrogen are together. This alkalinizes the blood, drops pain, opens up circulation, hydrox therapy. Originating saline, so I don't have to take the blood out of the patient. Photodynamic therapy, Dr. Weber from Germany, who has a clinic here in Circuit 77, puts lasers in the blood where we prove on the patient with things like hypericin or algae, and the substance jumps to the next atomic level and it drops back, releases an energy that actually helps us with cancer, anti-aging, stimulating stem cells. The frequency that we put on the stem cell to activate it, 458 hertz. We can put that in the blood and then activate dormant stem cells. Laser stem cell activators, again, these are used in cancer therapy. And what are the supplement firewalls? Because we start taking. There are 30 copies here. So maybe one of you can decide to make copies for everybody else. I don't know how many people would be here. But I say, well, leave one for me so I have something for reference. Besides, I want to stay young too. So what do we have now, the gift? How many times more, how often should I take it? Now, Dr. Gugliano, another one of my heroes, at 82 is taking all of these. There's a lot of them. I don't necessarily suggest that. I think you can upset your liver, your digestive system. I would start looking at my conditions and look up and say, would these probiotics help me? Would this curcumin help me? Should I get them in this amount? These things are published research evidence. I'm going to keep going. you can go to the website at the top if you don't believe me, anti-agingfirewalls.com, Vincent Bogliano, my name right there, it's at the top. I welcome you to check everything I'm saying. There's going to be, and when you get there, there's going to be 105 pages of reading about what I just talked about, but then there are links to what every doctor said, to every single blog, to everything. That website will keep you occupied for the rest of your life. So it's all centralized in one source, so this way everybody's working on an anti-aging together. Dr. Guglielmo is another one of my heroes. Can meditation slow the rate of aging? New York Academy of Sciences 2009 proving that it does. Because mindfulness will raise positive arousal of androgens, growth hormone, less than tone, while a person who is not mindful will increase their cortisol, insulin, and oxidative stress. Coming back to biofeedback, if I decide to sit, be calm, and do what you all know, vipassana, first thing, samadhi. So when I was on the train, and the kids were coughing, and all the advertising was going on, and they had the they had that commercial going constantly, I just cut myself off completely, I put my head down, I focused right here, on my feeling sensations, staying with sensations, feeling whatever I could. And I completely cut myself off from everything, got off the train smiling and happy, instead of looking around on my cell phone, constantly trying, I need to be distracted, I hate it in here, I hate it. I'm in there. I'm there. I'm not going to try to fight it, I'm going to be part of it, and make myself stronger. So that's how I created my mindfulness. Affects telomere length for positive and stressful So, by doing this, I've taken away that oxidative stress and those stresses that would stabilize my telomeres. Since everybody likes that word, there you go. You can read the research. There are certain factors in the personality which help them to stay younger. Are you more reserved and extroverted, or are you extroverted, always give you enough energy all the time, but do you reserve yourself sometimes, not giving all so much energy, conserving energy? Are you more agreeable, or a person who's constantly being challenged, detached? That being more agreeable, being more reserved, being more conscientious, being more open-minded, and the last one, instead of being more neurotic, that it can be a little bit more confident, finding the center. As soon as I'm feeling like I'm nervous or upset, I go right back to my anapana, do my focus, come back to the center again. So my instability, my need to push something away or to grab something I want, I just go to the center and stay there. This is proven that if I pray, if I'm spirited, if I want to protect my soul, in the U.S. Public Archives, there's the names under the publication, that actually having a view of a greater power is very important to staying younger. And people who have those views and those understandings are not so worried about the end. Dr. Guglielmo wants to go out to 122, he's 82 now. Every 7 years we will see a doubling in the effectiveness of practical available anti-aging interventions. Progress driven by social, economic, scientific, technological streams. The loss of consequences that by taking advantage of today's anti-aging interventions, to stream new intervention developments will likely come over years, it may well be possible for a healthy person now at 80 to break through to 122 today, if we take advantage of it. Today, we're in a very early stage of longevity revolution, also of vast importance. Common number 1955, the same excitement, with the idea of discoveries in computers, the rate of new people coming into the field, new practical applications, intractable problems being cracked, and incredible promises in the future is happening now. I think he's going to make it to 122, maybe more. There will always be a work in progress because we'll discover new things about aging and new things that will get in the way. Now, I'm going to show you something. This is only for protection, and I will show you the way out. Okay? This is 100% true. Right now, it's even being reported on RT. What is this 5G going to do? Are we going to have microwave antennas around us every 200 yards? In fact, I think the infertility of 200 million women in China is coming from the facial recognition cameras in the city that is constantly spraying, constantly keeping a 5G phone over my ovaries in my pocket. Because that technology is already there for 10 years. And actually, the studies have already shown that it will cause the endoplasmic reticulum inside the ovum to buckle, and then the cell wall gets harder and the sperm can't penetrate. I have the research that 5G is linked to cancer, autism, the nervous system, brain damage, declining human lifespans, fertility rates dropping, sperm counts dropping, depression, anxiety. You think I'm making this up? I'm not making this up. Now you can see there's a study released Journal of Preventive Medicine and Public Health. It's concluded that cell phone radiation caused DNA damage during 4 hours of accumulated exposure to the head. I'm actually cooking myself with a microwave. If I was to stick my head in a microwave like a hot dog, how fast does that hot dog age? Now it'll happen around me everywhere? I probably want to get something called a Bluetooth headphone, which you can get at mercolo.com. Bluetooth, not Bluetooth, Bluetooth. And what it is you can listen, and what happens is the sound comes through Bluetooth, and inside the tube, the only thing I have coming through here is sound. And I've never seen me with a cell phone up to my head. I don't even put it in my back pocket because I know that it's going to affect my hip. I put it in my bag, which sits out here, with a wire going to it, so that I can call it my Bluetooth headset and speak on a microphone. My friends say, well, yeah, but my brain's working. I'm going to keep it because information is more powerful than money. I'm not going to cook my head in a microwave for anybody. But I have to make an announcement. There are 200 5G towers going up in Thailand now. Thank AIS. Sorry, we need government oversight. Because, wait for it, Wired magazine. National Press, late yesterday, an independent peer review of the U.S. National Toxicology Program cell phone study announced their findings of clear evidence that cell phone radiation causes cancer, validating the nation's new special investigations. How big wireless made us think that cell phones are safe? The nation, really. There's the article, 5G should not be put up near your head. It's microwave technology. There's a great film called 5G, The Apocalypse, on YouTube, which has all the scientists, everybody going in America saying we cannot do this, microbiologists coming, doctors one after another, military people saying it's a military weapon, you can't use it. Everybody likes Mark Zuckerberg. I guess because he's the largest communist country on earth with over 2 billion people where everybody gets likes and dislikes, and there's only one leader. Facebook. Really? Good. Not for me. 5 ethical arguments against anti-aging medicine. 5 ethical arguments in favor of anti-aging medicine. The poor die young, the rich refuse to age. Is it only for rich people? No, we hope with this meeting that we have here and the doctors that we're bringing together, that we have technologies and we're giving out things that can be done so that people can actually do things that will help them. Even fasting or meditating, which will cost almost nothing. Denying aging's immutability. Maybe we're supposed to age. Maybe the reason our cells run down is so that they don't mutate and we form a tumor. Maybe we're supposed to get rid of cells. Dominating nature and altering or commodifying ourselves. Do we really want to dominate nature? Overpopulation. What's the carrying capacity of the earth? What are more people living longer and longer? Are we overpopulated? I don't know. If you separate every person on the planet now, I think realistically, they will be separated by 378 kilometers. Maybe it's just a distribution of resources. Politics. Ageism. Prejudice against getting old. I think we should get old gracefully. We're going to get old anyway. I call it longevity. I'm getting older. I'm losing melanin producing cells. That's why my hair is getting white. And I'm also losing fat in my scalp. But so what? I like it. I think it's okay. I someday will be bald like him, and I'll have a good shiner. And then I'll just reflect 5G off my head. I'll become a 5G solution. Okay. 5 ethical arguments in favor. Beneficence, to maintain health, prevent disease. That's good, we want that. Efficiency, slow aging will reduce the rates of overall most common diseases for everyone on the planet. Reducing suffering, limited autonomy. Freedom to anti-aging should be up to me. I should decide I want to make this choice. Somebody should make it for me. I think we all should have free will. Improved quality of life. I can be more active, healthy, and pain-free into my 80s, so I can continue doing jiu-jitsu. Like the oldest Gracie, who's 80, that these young men, 25 years old, are watching meet 6 of them, one after another, at 80. I see a man in Japan who does karate, and young guys come in one time, he just touches them, touches here, they fall to the floor. He has no pain. I can show you him with Steven Seagal learning the technique from on film, on YouTube. You can see it. Wisdom comes with time from experience, not senescence, that limits time. And we may gain more wisdom. Are the arguments in favor of anti-aging found to be more compelling than the arguments against it? I guess the only question I have is, will mankind be happy with more time? Will it? Maybe we'll reach wisdom. I don't know. But anyway, I thank you so much for listening. And thank you for giving me the time. I hope it wasn't too